I'm part of Zero Carbon Harrogate, and our mission is to make Harrogate zero carbon by 2035. So we're hoping that this cafe will help us to go some of the way to achieving that goal. Obviously, we are only able to, at the moment, intercept a small amount of the food that's going to waste in Harrogate. But obviously, I'm hoping that this idea is going to catch on across Harrogate, and that other churches and community groups will grab this vision as well, and will do it in their areas as well. And also it's about education. It's about trying to raise awareness about the impact that our own waste within our homes has, and trying to get people to think.
My name is Duncan Millwain, and I'm here this morning at St Mark's in Harrogate. I'm here at the launch of Resurrected Bites, which is a new cafe operating in the church here. The cafe is unusual for two reasons. Firstly, it is all the food here being served this morning is food that would otherwise have gone to waste. It's been deemed by society to be surplus food and would have probably ended up in landfill. We're here today to show that that food is perfectly good food that we can all eat and share together. The second unusual thing about the cafe here is all the food is available on a pay-as-you-feel basis. It's not free, but you pay what you want or what you feel is appropriate for the food. This cafe is part of a national movement, the Real Junk Food Project. I'm part of that movement, was one of the people who was involved in the start of this in 2013. We've now got cafes up and down the country doing the same as we're doing here. Some are based in buildings up and down a high street, some are based in community centres, some like this are based in churches. But they've all got those two themes in common, that the food is surplus food and the food is available to all. We're doing this as part of the Real Junk Food Project, of which I'm a trustee, because we believe the issue of food waste, 1/3 of food produced globally goes to waste. And we believe this is something, the environmental cost of that is huge. So what we're doing is seeking to challenge that and to change supermarkets and society's attitude to that waste food.
So I'm Jemima Parker. I'm the chair of Zero Carbon Harrogate, and we set up a couple of years ago after the Paris International Climate Change talks, because we realised that while it was very good having international agreements on climate change, what really needed to happen was every community across the world to actually change to being a low carbon community. And that meant that there could be some really positive things that could come out. We could see the real benefits of switching off fossil fuels and of our society changing to a low carbon community. So we wanted to really emphasise to businesses, to local community groups, to individuals what those benefits were. So we've got a series of different teams working on different things, and one of those teams is the food team, and Michelle heads up the food team, and she set up this cafe here at St Mark's to use food waste, because currently 1/3 of our food is wasted, thrown away, and that has a huge impact in terms of not just the cost of that wasted food, but in terms of carbon emissions, because it takes a lot of carbon and methane to produce food, and that has an impact on our environment. So this cafe is a kind of win-win in terms of providing food for those who need it, being a lovely social place to meet, and also reducing our carbon emissions. So it's a great scheme.
Alongside doing what we're doing here, we're also trying to educate educate people about what we're doing. And so we started to run a couple of years ago a thing called Fuel for School. We're now working with over 50 schools at the moment in Leeds and Bradford, and hopefully we'll be spreading that across the country this year, where we're providing the surplus food into those schools, and we're educating those children about. So what my hope is that come hopefully 5-10 years time, my children, my grandchildren will look back and say, is that what you used to do? You used to throw 1/3 of your food away, and look in horror, because that then will be a thing of the past.